Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to Brush Your Bet for Tuesday, July 6th. Just a heads up, just threw up an NBA Finals Bucks Suns preview on YouTube as well for anybody interested. Was a little too stony baloney while doing it, ran a little long. Didn't really come to a super concrete, sexy conclusion. Couldn't find my way onto the Bucks. But yeah, if you're doing your own analysis, I think there's some good key points, themes to think about kind of things in there. If you're interested, on to the Brush Your Bet MLB slate. Ugly one in my opinion, but then again, maybe I'm just not seeing it too well. I feel like there's a lot of iffy-tiffy, a lot of spots I want to take, but glaring holes that are keeping me away. So going to tread rather lightly. One spot I do like quite a bit is the Yanks minus 150. They'll be a pancake best bet today. Yeah, I don't know. I could see maybe someone's little radar, whatever thingy, goes off on like a Mariners plus 140 at home bet. They've been so sexy at home, winning with magic. I mean, long term, I love Seattle's recipe. I mean, they really mimic in a lot of ways. We've been playing them a lot lately. In a lot of ways, they mimic like the Royals as they were coming up, winning with defense, small ball, good baseball, timely hitting. Like that's baseball. That's how you win long term. I mean, look how high we moved Seattle in the power rankings. They're in the top 15 for us. Toronto's not in the top 15 for us. We have Seattle in the top 15. We respect them quite a bit. So I understand maybe someone's radar is going off, especially with public sentiment being so low on the Yanks right now. I mean, we just had a players only meeting, everyone's like, oh, the Yanks suck. But I just don't think this is the spot. I think the spread between the two starting pitchers, Talon and Sheffield, is just, I mean, minus 150 feels light. Like, I feel like this is one of those spots where you see like a minus 180 road dog, a minus 190 road dog, and it's like, all right, this kind of spot's warranted. Talon on one hand, we have him circled as like a buy spot. I think some positive regressions coming. I like his peripherals, and I like the kind of young guy he is. The guy's obviously been through way more than just like getting right on the mound. Good work ethic, good character. This is the kind of guy you want to buy. Sheffield, on the other end, is a former prospect that we traded away for what ended up being nothing, but I think that's because he's not very good. I think we batter him in this spot, get out to an early lead, we can coast. This isn't to say we don't come back and lose the next two, by the way. It's not like I'm delusional about who my Yanks are, but we do have that little bit of response thingy or whatever. It's weird because we don't particularly, it's weird to peg who the leader is now. Because I don't know. You just look at Judge, it's as much as I want him to take over, be a leader, all this stuff, it's I'm gonna follow this guy, I'm gonna follow that guy. Whatever, but the Yanks minus 150, I just think that this is such a wide spread in starting pitching. It really is a wide spot. The Cardinals, Giants over 8, minus 105. Not a bad beat on the under yesterday, but not a great one. The bullpen's really imploded, and they're not in much better shape today. Both of these bullpens have been stretched lately. Going to give us more opportunities for the over. We have Wainwright, Cueto. Wainwright's kind of been the Cardinals' guy this year, but I mean, I don't know. It's like the when that whole Wainwright Walker train was going. It's let's not, you just never be confused about who these two guys are. There's going to be some negative regression coming down the pipe for him. I don't know, just the matchup of the two wily vets. I think they both get touched a little bit. Not tagged, but touched enough. And with St. Louis, I feel like that they're going to be the kind of thing where it's a dam that breaks. It's once it starts, we're going to get some bursts from the offense and everything. I think it's a good spot for the over there. And especially with the bullpen stuff, because that's clearly been a hole we've been lacking with how many late beats we have, which like it's not necessarily like everybody that calls a late beat a bad beat. It's like, no, I've been doing a poor job at handicapping the bullpens. That's what's happening. We're going to sprinkle the Rockies at plus 110. It's hard not to when you're facing the D-backs. That D-backs team, we've been investing in fades against them recently, so I've been watching quite a bit of them, and they're like a bad team. I mean, we'll harp on it again. My grandpa lived in St. Petersburg, like when I was growing up or whatever, so I used to I used to go visit my grandpa all the time, at least once, twice a year, whatever. And we go to Rays games, and like during that whole expansion time come up, so like Randy Wynn, like Carlos Pena, all these guys, that team was better than this D-backs team. This D-backs team's bad. Rockies are a dog. John Gray weirdly caught some of his last outing. Not amazing, but some good body language. I like the way he was talking with the pitching coach after. Against Merrill Kelly, I don't know, as a dog, the Rockies have some juice, a couple more walk-off wins in that series against the Cardinals. They 2 there, it gives them the most in baseball. They got a little juice. We'll take the Rockies plus 110. Sprinkle the Red Sox. Both of these spots, the Rockies and the Red Sox, I'd take if their bullpens were in better situations. But the Red Sox, that's the only thing scaring away the Red Sox from being a full play. I don't think they're going to have Ottavino. They're not going to have Barnes for this one. Barnes had to throw a bunch of pitches in the finale against the Athletics. So that puts us in a little bit of a tough spot if we're going to have like Workman closing it. And then that like Darwinson Hernandez kid's going to have to pitch, a high leverage spot, and he's been a little iffy lately. But otherwise, Eovaldi, Ohtani. Other than Ohtani's got some unicorn thing about him. I mean, the guy is damn good at the plate. I don't think he's that good a pitcher. I think he's like a whatever average-ish pitcher, whatever. He needs to be hitting full time. But he has some juice about him, and the Angels, like their late game comeback ability or whatever, combined with that Red Sox bullpen situation, is tough. The Red Sox are just playing so freaking well. I want a piece at like a pick 'em minus 105. I got minus 105. I would like some Red Sox. Gonna sprinkle some Twins plus 103 over the White Sox. The White Sox are a sell team for us right now. Minnesota's they bottomed out last week for us. We've been slowly buying some stock. I don't think they're very good, but I think Chicago's playing some pretty bad baseball right now. We took so this matchup is a repeat of, I think, last week, and we were on the White Sox last time. The White Sox won, but Rodon started to melt down at the end of the game. He got into some sticky situations. I think he ended up letting up like 4 over 5 innings or something like that, but his control just went ape shit wild at the end of the game. I mean, he has a little bit of that, like, Carlos Martinez in him, that whatever, where it's like, okay, we're just straight cruising for 5-6 innings, and then it's just like out of nowhere we hit this magical wall. He has a little bit of that in him, but he's been throwing a lot of this has been building over the last few starts. So I think that on one end, Berrios on the other. Berrios is like, yeah, I mean, if nothing else, the guy's like at least a leader of the pitching staff, and he cares. Rodon's a lefty. That's a preferable side for the Twins. I'll buy some. Lean the Marlins at plus 127. I hope that's not just because I'm a psychopath and that's my birthday, and I just like gravitate towards things with 127. But Pablo Lopez against Tony Gonsolin. Pablo Lopez is a stud. Tony Gonsolin, I think Tony Gonsolin's pretty damn good himself, but inevitably the stat line he's rocking is due for some negative regression. Like the way the Marlins ended the game after giving up the lead, they're rocking like the scraping the bottom of their bullpen. They end up getting out of it. The Jorge Alfaro response home run. You like the way the game ended. And, what do you think the Dodgers did after the game today? I think half of them were probably hungover. And then half of them, instead of licking the wounds themselves, I think they called up the girls they were with last night and were like, you want to lick my wounds. I think it was probably something like that. I think half of them probably still come to the game checked out tomorrow. Is that enough to win? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd like to see like a tiny bit sweeter price just because the Dodgers are the alpha of this ecosystem, and continuing to like play against them with the Marlins is probably not going to be the move long term. Eyes on the Blue Jays tomorrow. We talked about it, but we caught a bunch of that Orioles-Angels series, and as we said, we didn't think it was necessarily the Angels coming back and winning the games. It was the Orioles just handing them over like they didn't want them. Yeah, you run into the Jays here. I think that's probably going to be bad news. Matt's on the mound. Maybe the Orioles get a little bit of love, and the line's not absolutely insane. I'm not sure who they're throwing yet. But yeah, I think that's a difficult team to take right now. In the Orioles, definitely sell. And yeah, I think that wraps up, yeah, at least this. I'll check back in with like a TikTok, Instagram, Twitter post later. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the Suns Bucks series. I have that Suns plus 800 ticket from whatever the video on like June 8th. I don't think I'm going to end up hedging off of it after analysis or whatever it is. And I kind of, the more I was doing that breakdown, got into that groove or the feeling of like, okay, the Suns are just going to come out and come out with like a Jorge Masvidal flying knee and knee the Bucks in the face so hard their wits can never even get together and be like, okay, remember that game plan where we were going to like actually do the Drew thing when PJ Tucker threatened us? So yeah, I might end up taking the Suns tomorrow. It's probably going to be like the public side, though. Do you really want to be on that? Yeah. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody has a wonderful one. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, and if anybody has any ideas for the Tuesday segment, right now, schedule-wise, we have Monday, Power Rankings, Tuesday Open, Wednesday is going to be UFC, Thursday Open, Friday, like a weekend look ahead. If anybody has any ideas, maybe we slot like a bullpen, like kind of peering into bullpens and everything. Because if you really just look at the top, like the back ends of every bullpen, there's always a ton of bullpen turnover. It's one of the hardest jobs, but there's been like more bullpen turnover than ever. I'm not saying like from team to team. I just mean like the names. It's like, who are half these people that are holding down bullpens these days? It's like all familiar names are gone. Maybe we need to start diving into those like on a weekly basis and just like usage and what's going on, trending up, trending down bullpens. Like we pegged Tampa Bay and Cleveland in however many weeks past as bullpens for regression. We're starting to see a lot of that now. What a melt by Cleveland today. So yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, let me know what you think about Tuesday and Thursday on the scheduling, and happy Tuesday. Have a good one, guys.